Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Teague on behalf of the students, faculty, and staff of the high school outside of Chicago, Illinois. I'd simply like to say that we are absolutely thrilled to have this opportunity to share our music with you this evening in beautiful Connecticut Hall. Our next piece is a delightful work by composer Randall Bass, and sets the music to the well-known poem Casey and the Bat, which was written by a Sayer in the late 1800s. Now I say well-known poem, and in truth, I know that it might not be, at least in England, so well known. So when the concert organizers and I discussed the inclusion of this work on the program, we decided for just a bit of context and backstory might help you better understand the poem and the piece. You see, this is a poem about a famous baseball player. And we all know that baseball isn't the most popular team sports in the world. Actually, okay, we can be honest, no one plays baseball in England. And most Europeans think it's about the most boring and slow game ever invented. All right? And so when the Brits tell us that, the Brits will tell us that we want to see a game that has a fast-moving object hurled through the air and then struck by a secondary object, then we should certainly watch cricket. And of all days, for me to attempt to draw a comparison between the sport of cricket and American baseball, I woke up this morning to news that the Ashes returned to Britain. Congratulations. After the English cricket team flogged, and I love this word, flogged the Australians to win the most important trophy in cricket in back-to-back years for the first time in 3 decades. And they also did this, I understand, in Australia, which is another large feat. In fact, the headline today I read was, England leaves Australia in ruins in quest for ashes. Very dramatic. In fact, here's what the New York Times wrote about the match today. Defeat casts doubt over the future of Australia's captain, Ricky Ponting. He is on the verge of being the first Australian captain for more than a century to lose 3 Ashes series following defeats in England in 2005 and 2009. His captaincy is seriously in jeopardy, at the Times. All losing captains come under scrutiny, but Ponting's problems have been compounded by miserable batting and his fits of temper. But Mr. Ponting will hear none of this. He's quoted saying, absolutely, I still want to be the captain, he told the BBC radio today. I still personally think I've got a lot to offer this team as captain, and will be that. So back to our music tonight. Let's connect the stories if we could. Casey is the name of a famous baseball player for a team called the Mudville Nine. Now let's think of the Mudville Nine as the Australian cricket team. And as you listen to the poem, think of Casey as Australia's captain, Ricky Ponting. A sports figure in a seriously desperate situation, surrounded by high expectations and an important game. How will Casey do? Will he save the day for his team? Or will, like the Australians, will the Mudville Nine be flogged by the opposition? To help us learn these answers, I'm incredibly pleased to introduce our guest narrator, who served as a teacher of English and theater at w-intro.mov High School. Won't you please help me welcome to the stage a dear friend and colleague, Mr. Demetrius George. with but one inning left to play. So when Cooney died at second base, and Burroughs did the same, a pall-like silence fell upon the patrons of the game. A straggling few got up to go, leaving there the rest, with hope that springs eternal from within the human breast. They thought, if only Casey could get a whack at that, we'd put up even money now with Casey at the bat. But Flynn preceded Casey, and likewise so did Blake. And the former was a pudding, and the latter was a fake. So on that stricken multitude, a death-like silence sat, for there seemed but little chance of Casey's getting to the bat. But Flynn let go a signal to the wonderment of all, and the much-despised Blakey tore the cover off the ball. So when the dust had settled and they saw what had occurred, there was Blakey safe at second, and Flynn a hugging third. Then with the gladdened multitude, a joyous yell, it bounded from the mountaintop and rattled in the dell. It struck upon the hillside and rebounded on the flat. For Casey, mighty Casey, was advancing to the bat. There was ease in Casey's manner as he stepped into his place. There was pride in Casey's bearing and a smile upon his face. And when responding to the cheers, he lightly doffed his hat. No stranger in the crowd could doubt 'twas Casey at the bat. 10,000 eyes were on him as he rubbed his hands in dirt. 5,000 tongues applauded as he wiped him on his shirt. And when the writhing pitcher threw the ball into his hip, defiance flashed in Casey's eyes, and a sneer curled Casey's lips. And now the leather-covered sphere came hurtling from the air, and Casey stood a-watching in haughty grandeur there. Close by the sturdy batsman, the ball unheeded sped. "That ain't my style," said Casey. "Strike one," the umpire said. From the bench's black people, there went a muffled roar, like the beating of the storm waves on the stern and distant shore. "Kill him! Kill the umpire!" someone shouted from the stand, and it's likely they had killed him, and not Casey raised his hand. With a smile of noble charity, great Casey's visage shone. He stilled the rising tumult, and he bade the game go on. He signaled to the pitcher, and once more the spheroid flew. But Casey still ignored it, and the umpire said, "Strike two!" "Fraud!" cried the man in thousands, and the echo answered, "Fraud!" But one scornful look from Casey, and the audience was awed. They saw his face grow stern cold, they saw his muscles strain, and they knew that Casey would not let that ball go by again. The sneer is gone from Casey's lip. His teeth are clenched with hate. He pounds with cruel vengeance his bat upon the plate. And now the pitcher holds the ball, and now he lets it go. And now the air is shattered by the force of Casey's. and somewhere hearts are light, and somewhere men are laughing, and somewhere children shout. But there is no joy in month